Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, Who's Ready for Some Fighting Words. In this video, I want to take a closer look at Naoya Inoue. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time, subscribe to the channel. It just takes one click. And if you could, also hit that thumbs up button. It does help. It shows love and it supports this channel. So let's take a closer look at Naoya Inoue as he takes on Luis Nery. So first and foremost, I'm just going to start off with the obvious. Inoue's very, very accomplished. Undisputed, two-time undisputed, two weight classes. Not easy to do. Not many people get an opportunity to do. You know how hard it is to get one belt? Like, just to get one belt. It's very, very, very difficult to get one belt. To climb up to the top, get one belt. This man got all of them. Twice. Two different weight classes. Very difficult. Not many people can do that. Inoue could retire right now, and he'll be in the history books. He's already done more than 75, 80% of boxers today are ever going to achieve. Like, hands down, he's already done it. He could literally walk away. He could take the belts, throw them in the trash, walk away, and people 30, 40, 50 years from now are still going to be talking about this guy because of what he did. He doesn't need this fight. He doesn't need anything else. What else is there for him to accomplish? He's done everything. He's an active Hall of Famer. He's already in the Hall of Fame. It's just that he's active, so they can't put him in there yet. But he's already in the Hall of Fame. All right? Literally, he's done everything. Inoue has great drive and determination. You know how hard it is to move up in weight. And mentally, to know the stress and the strain of moving up in weight. It's hard enough just to stay in your division and fight everybody off. And then stay the top dog while fighting everybody off. But to go up where people hit harder, or people are much more durable, and then people are unknown because it's not as if you've been looking at them the whole time. You've been fighting people in your actual division. So you don't even know about these guys. Now you have to go and do your research and your homework on these guys. All you know is they're bigger, stronger, and meaner. And he does it yet again. All right? That takes a whole lot of determination. It takes a whole lot of drive and self-belief. Inoue is, let me say it like this. In my opinion, I think he's a modern day perfect specimen of a boxer. I think he has all the tangents, all the attributes, I think he has everything needed to be considered a perfect boxer. Footwork is amazing and explosive. Hand speed is coordinated and precise. Inoue has a multi-layered defense. Okay, some people just have a one-layer defense. He has a multi-layered defense. Some people are just slick with their head movements. You know, they're really good at that stuff. And then some people, they're kind of good at slapping hands. George Foreman was really good at that. Then you have guys who are just, good with their hand placements and, Winky Wright, really good at this. That shield wall, great at that. And then you have people who they have great feet. Their footwork is amazing. And then you have a guy like Naoya Inoue who can pretty much do everything. And I think his defense is multi-layered, mixing up his looks, using everything cohesively. One of the things I like about Inoue is he doesn't waste anything. Everything is in unison. Everything makes sense. Everything is together. You get some guys where they're just kind of winging it, and you can tell they're winging it because they might be punching like this, but they might be moving like that. And it's like, well, they don't coincide. Everything with him is just orchestrated, and it's perfectly orchestrated. And you're dealing with an individual who knows what he's doing. You're dealing with an individual who has thought about this fight, who has thought about his opponent, who has dreamt about them. Yes, there's a game plan, but he's played in his mind the scenarios and the virtual scenarios and everything like that. And if you have enough fights up here about an opponent, a lot of times, a lot of the stuff that you see up here will show itself in the fight or present itself in the fight. Let's see. Hands in sync with his feet, perfect balance. Perfect balance. Not everybody has perfect balance. Perfect balance. He has a wide stance. Great, just great foot placement. He just knows where he is. Even when he's backing up, he knows where he is. And that is not an easy thing to do. When you're under fire and you have to react, and you might be in the receiving end of the fire, but you still know where you are. and you're still perfectly balanced. And that's the reason why he can respond, because he's still perfectly balanced and he knows where he is. And that's what makes him a great counterpuncher. Let's see. Solid chin, which is what he will need against Luis Nery. Nery is no joke. Nery is all about the smoke. Nery wants destruction. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He likes to start the party early. And when it's time to go and that bell rings, he's going to come to try to take your head off. Let's see. Inoue likes to ease into the fight, which could be a problem for him because, like I said, Nery, he starts early. As soon as that bell rings, he's coming to take your head off. He's not going to ease into it. He's not that guy. He's coming to take your head off. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's coming to take your head off. He's going to dart across the ring, and you better believe if you're not ready to rock and roll, it's going to be a very long night for you if you're not ready to rock and roll. I think the fight between Nery and Inoue will be about who's first. These are both fast guys. These are both explosive guys, but it's really about who's first. This fight is going to have a ton of opportunity for counter punching, obviously, just because of the way they both fight, and they're both combination fighters. So obviously, there's going to be tons of opportunity for counter punching. But I do feel like this fight is going to play largely on who's first. And when I look at the beginning of the fight, I see Nery having a bit of an edge because he does like to start things early, and he doesn't hold back. He's very loose with his punches. While you look at Inoue, he isn't very loose with his punches because, like I said, he's a calculated guy. He's just not going to throw a punch just to throw a punch. He's not going to throw a punch just to get you off of him, or he's not going to throw a punch just to, he will gauge distance, but he's not throwing away punches. Let me say it like that. Anyway, I've never seen him do it, and I don't think he's going to start doing it just because he's fighting Luis Nery. He's just not that guy. How fast can Inoue get his feet wet? And what do I mean by that? Well, if you're a guy who eases into the fight versus a guy who just starts the fight blazing hot, how fast, how quickly can you get your feet wet? How quickly can you say, all right, this is what we're doing, all hands on deck? How quickly can you get into the fight? How do you need to compute what's coming at you? Do you need to compute how he's moving, his footwork, his tells, his feints? Do you need to compute all that stuff first? Or can you just say, all right, screw it, I'm just going? Can you go into that mode? Can you go into that mode? Because I don't think Nery's going to give you the room to sit there for 2 rounds and compute what's going on. And all right, I got your rhythm down. I figured out his cadence, and I don't think he's going to give you the space to do that. I definitely don't think he's going to give you the respect to do that. Nery is not the type of guy who's going to give you respect. On top of Nery just bringing the pressure physically with his punches and with his presence, he's also the type of guy who's going to mock you. He's going to make faces at you. So now you're dealing with a strong physical force coming after you with a strong psychological pressure that's going to be unrelenting. How quickly can you get your feet wet and say, all right, this is what we're doing, all systems go? That's the question. That's the question. I already know this is going to be a fast-paced fight. I already know this fight is going to have a lot of punch output. I already know this fight is going to get, wild and not reckless, but wild quickly. I know those things because I know who Luis Nery is. The question is, how quickly will Inoue adapt to that and say, all right, I see what you're doing. All right, we're not going to box into this. We're just going to fight tonight, right? All right, so I'll meet you in the alleyway. Now, if he's willing to engage and do that, that's one thing. Or let's see. Here's another caveat, just throwing this on there. Nery already mentioned retirement after this fight. He's mentioned it. Now, whether or not it's true, he still mentioned it. And typically when a guy throws it out there, he's probably going to follow through on it, So if it is, in fact, Nery's last fight, I can tell you right now, Nery's not going to hold anything back. Everything he has, he's bringing to the table. Everything he has, everything he's ever learned, everything he's ever watched, everything he's ever experimented on with in terms of training and sparring, he's bringing it to the table. And he has nothing to lose. If he's already said, listen, win, lose, or draw, I'm walking away. He's got nothing to lose. I'm leaving everything in this ring tonight. You're going to get all of me. You're going to get all my years of training. You're going to get all my hardships. You're going to get my upbringing. You're going to get everything that I've ever had to face or fight in life tonight. Because after tonight, I'm walking out that front door and I'm never looking back. So you're going to get it. You're going to be stuck with it. I'm leaving it all with you. How you deal with that is on you. But I'm leaving it with you. That's a lot of fire. That's a lot of firepower. Something to think about. Inoue has to be ready mentally, which that I don't worry about. I know he's a samurai. But he has to be able to go to that place and tap into that mental place quickly. That is something else. Like I said, he's a samurai. Not worried about him being a champion. That's what he is. He's shown throughout his entire career. That's what he is. He's not far away from that last fight himself. But you got to just get in there and say, all right, samurai mode. Him or me. Simple as that. How quickly can you do that? Both guys are creative and combination punchers. Inoue is a devastating body puncher who should invest early. I think body punches early from Inoue are going to be crucial because it's going to slow Nery down. It's going to drop Nery's hands. But mainly it's going to slow Nery down. I don't really know if it's going to stop Nery's hands, but it will drop Nery's hands. The more you get hit in your body, now you just start tensing up. Every time I do a flinch, you think, oh, it's probably going to hit me in the body again. No. You know, so if for nothing else, you can drop your hands. And who knows, that chin is right there. But I think if for nothing else, I think Inoue needs to invest in the body early. And I'm talking combinations. In pockets. I'm not necessarily saying a full-on assault. I don't think that. I think Nery is probably not going to have his way. But I think he's definitely going to be more aggressive early rounds. Obviously, that's just kind of how he is. But I think Inoue has to gauge what's coming at him. And I think he also needs to gauge the amount of power. You got to feel somebody's power. Because this is one thing to say, all right, he's going to just rush across the ring, he's going to get after you. But then you might feel his power. I'm like, if that's the hardest he hits, all right. You can take a few of those. Or you're going to say, oh, I'm not taking any more of those. You got to gauge. You have to gauge. Nery's not going to gauge anything. Nery's going to go in guns a-blazing. But you can't change who you are. Inoue is a calculated guy, so he has to gauge. Simple as that. Let's see. I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is going to be a punch-out. This is just simply going to be a punch-out. But I do think Nery gets very sloppy. Around 7, 8, 9, and then into the championship rounds. He gets very sloppy. That's where I think the tide will turn, change, or shift highly into the favor of Inoue. I'm not saying that he won't have favor early on. I'm just saying that the shift will change highly. 7, 8, 9, especially double-digit rounds. It's going to change highly in Inoue's favor. I think by then, 7, 8, 9, Nery's in his reserves already. So now Inoue can kind of breathe because not necessarily that he's slowing down, but because he's gotten sloppy. He's not as precise. He's not as crisp. He's not as sharp. So now I can kind of like relax a little bit. And since you've started this thing so early, I know what you're about. Now I can unwind. See, you started the fight off unwinding. Now it's time for me to unwind and show you exactly who I am. You know who I am because I've been fighting you off. But now you're going to realize who I really am because now I'm about to take the lead in this dance. Let's see. Inoue's not sloppy. Inoue's not reckless. He's a thinker. And that's where things are going to shift dramatically. Like I said, in the second half of the fight will change dramatically after round 6. I truly believe that. Because by round 6, Nery, Here's what I think. I think Nery is going to draw out the championship round anyway, early. That's what I think. The guy who Inoue is in the championship rounds, where it counts, when it really means something, I think Nery, the way he fights, is going to drag that guy out in around probably 5, 6, 7, when he should be coming out around 9, 10, 11. That's when he should be coming out. But you're going to draw him out early. And because you're going to draw him out early, you're going to get what you're going to get. Because once he's out, he's out.